Virginia's their interior was just dominant. Jarrell, when you watch it, do we need to be talking about these guys more? Because this might be the best team in the country that is just not discussed.
No, I agree. And, kind of on the flip side of what we were just talking about with Coach DeVries, you can't compliment Coach Odom what he's done this fast. You know what I mean? Like, just not even in terms of just, necessarily budget, spending the money, but putting the pieces together that fit. Man, I like, the more I watch them, it's like I think they might be one of the deepest teams in the country. And that's something that probably we like you said, we don't talk about them in general enough, but that's something specifically that we don't talk about. Like, man, they got like legit 8 or 9 guys that can play. And some of those guys off the bench can get rolling. Like, we got a guy like Jakari White coming off your bench, and he got going tonight. And I think he only played like 20 minutes, but just super efficient. Like, they can go on mini runs in the second. And like you said, tonight was just crazy because it was a bit of an ugly game. Kind of rugged early on, and then they kind of just hit the gas on them. They had the little scuffle, whatever you want to call it, tussle at half court, and then Virginia just kind of hit the gas on them. Obviously didn't help that NC State couldn't throw it in the ocean tonight. But man, it was crazy. What was it? Grunlow had 5 blocks, I think, in the first half. Yeah, finished the game with 8 blocks. Like, man, that's crazy.
Couple were on threes too, like just closing out the threes.
Mutombo out there, man. It was nuts, and it just completely shut their water off, man. It was nuts, man.
Yeah, it looked like a bunch of boys playing against men to me. Like, in the first half, it was, and again, part of the problem, this is not your typical Will Wade team. Again, we talk about these first-year head coaches. And Will Wade's been at McNeese State. His whole staff's been at McNeese State, recruiting a bunch of low and mid-major guys, right? And now you go up to the high major level, and you got to do this evaluation quickly. And they rely on a guy like Andrew Slater to bring in as a GM. And, they got too many jump shooters. And Darryn Williams was supposed to be a star. He was supposed to be a number 1 guy. He can't get by anybody. He literally can't get by anybody. In Virginia – they got money. They probably have similar money to Indiana, but like you said, they've put the pieces together a little bit better. And I love their 2 point guards. Neither are great. Hall and Mallory are both like good, solid point guards, but man, they both know how to run a team. They're tough as shit, and obviously Testa Ritter has been awesome, like awesome this year. So, and like you said, Jarrell, like Jakari White can really shoot it. They got enough shooters. They got enough size. They got enough athleticism. They're tough. They play fast, which Virginia fans must love after watching Tony Bennett and Ron Sanchez's style for years.
Yeah, the other thing, too, is like when we go into the coaching carousel and a guy like Coach Will Wade gets hired, we're sitting there saying, home run. The expectation and the bar that everybody sets in the line of work that we do just goes like through the roof, right? Like it's so high, like home run hire, still having a good year. I mean, 19-9, but Coach Odom gets hired and it's like, okay, yep, makes sense. He's had success pretty much wherever he's been. Okay, but it's not nearly as sexy as a hire as maybe Coach Will Wade. So that's why we don't talk about this team enough. And what do? They defend at a high level. They share the ball. The ball changes sides of the floor. They play at a higher pace in this Virginia program. They played at in a long time. You think about tonight, they had 17 assists in the game. He's a really, really good basketball coach that knows exactly what he's doing, that throughout his career, go back to UMBC, he's been able to grow. He's been able to develop as a head coach and just continue to get better. And he grew up in the business. But he's not very active on social media. He's not, he doesn't go to the press conference and do outlandish things or say outlandish things. He's just a basketball coach, and he loves the game. And I think when you think about that, that's maybe why we don't talk about this team enough. But they are good. They are really, really good. And they are not a team that you want to run into in the NCAA tournament. because I think they defend at a high level. They play the right way on offense because that ball hops and moves and jumps around.
Well, I mean, not kidding. Last 2 years when he's at VCU, I probably did 12 of his games. And the one thing that I took away from doing his games is he's a teacher. Like he and his staff teach the game, whether that's in practice, shoot around, huddles. They do a really good job of breaking things down and making guys see the game the way that they want them to see it, need them to see it. And I think he always gets called a great offensive coach, which he is. But this team's DNA is on defense. And honestly, the team at VCU that he kind of built there too were more defensive-minded. And that's more of the DNA maybe of VCU's program. I don't care what the DNA of Virginia's program is. It's a totally different look. Oh, here come the hats again. Let's keep flipping them in. He's Arizona hat. Better be ready for the next block.
I forgot for a minute.
But they come,
I know it annoys
out of a
McCall.
box. Like, where do you keep all these hats? Are they in a box?
When
Are
McCall
they like a Publix bag? Like what?
Hat rack.
Wegman.
I got a couple bins. No, the hat rack's not big enough. I got like 5 of them, but I got a couple bins over there that I gotta go like, scourging through whatever the word is. I've had
You're making up words now.
Too many mango carts already. Yeah,
There
too
you
many
go.
mango.
Get more of those. Just I felt that beyond the reason we're not talking about them though too, or we may now come this weekend, is they haven't had their schedule wasn't that tough. We get that, and there were some teams that are on there, whether it's Maryland or they've had a couple of the games that maybe if you just schedule them on their face, Texas, Dayton in years past, you think they're going to be better games. They just weren't. They in terms of the opponents didn't turn out to be great wins. Real quick, round the horn. I don't know what the point spread's going to be. I imagine it's going to be like 6 or 7.5 for Duke here on Saturday. Jarrell, they got a shot to walk into Cameron? Like, is this a chance for them to announce themselves? Because they haven't had many moments like this. In the North Carolina game at home, they let that slip through their fingers in the second half. They owned that game for 19 minutes and got crushed last 21 minutes. They got a chance against Duke?
I definitely think they have a chance. Obviously, they have to keep the runs to a minimum. Use the timeouts when Duke makes a run wisely, and if they can hang around and have a shot where they're within single digits around the 5-minute mark of that game, the pressure is going to shift back to Duke. And on top of that, just coming off of what Duke's done the last week or so, what better timing after the big win on the national stage against Michigan. My God, they beat the pants off of Notre Dame tonight. I was screaming like Apollo Creed's manager, throw the towel, throw the damn towel.
Duke.
Shrewsbury blew out his Achilles. He blew out his Achilles.
Oh God!
Look,
that was a tough night.
What better time to kind of try to sneak them on home turf? Nobody probably giving you a shot. I think they got a chance. I think for sure they'll be able to keep it close.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be that. I mean, I think it'll be 8-10, but I don't think they win that game at Cameron.
McCall?
25-3, only 3 losses on the season. Crazier things have happened at this point in time in college basketball season. I think they can go in there and give them a game, but I even thought Duke going on the road tonight would, against a Notre Dame team that's not having a great year by any means, would maybe struggle a little bit just coming off that huge win. But again, I sound like a broken record in terms of coaching and having your team prepared to play on the road, and there was nobody at that game. So you had to create your own energy. Right. Man, what a job John Shire's doing, man. What a job. So Duke wins the game, but I think Virginia can make it close.
All right, well, we'll be checking that